Nolen Scruggs, 2016 junior men's foil, junior Olympic champion. Nolen, you were a cadet champ here a few years ago. How's it feel to claim gold now as a junior?
It feels great. I feel like I've matured a lot as a fencer since last time I won the Junior Olympics way back. And I think if you go watch the video of every bout I fenced today, I think you can clearly see that I think I've matured a lot as an athlete, physically and mentally.
As a cadet champ compared to today becoming a junior champ, what are the areas of your fencing that you feel that maturity shows most?
I think my defense has improved significantly. Not just that, but I talked about my athleticism. Just like how long I can fence for. Like the last time I won the Junior Olympics, I was like barely getting by. Like I was cramping, like I was about to pass out on the strip. But today I felt fully in control of everything and ready to do anything.
Now, your sister, Lauren, what, she's 13, 14?
13, yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday also claimed a junior title. How much does that kind of impact you coming in today, either as motivation or just pride as a brother?
I mean, of course, I'm proud of my sister, and I feel proud of her whenever she does well in fencing. But, you know, we've been competitive since we were little. And so, you know, people were talking trash to me this morning, like, oh, are you going to repeat? Are you going to match your sister? In the back of my head, I'm always thinking, like, I guess I have to, because I know when I go back home, she's just going to have nothing but slander from me. So, yeah.
So is that something that happens a lot at home? There's
Yeah.
a little smack talking?
Yeah.
What, do you guys compete in other areas, like other sports, pickup game, like basketball game outside?
Yeah, we play basketball sometimes, pretty much anything. We'll do races, video games, all that stuff. 2K, we're big fans of 2K, Call of Duty, all that.
So it doesn't matter what it is, anything where it's one-on-one,
one, we're always
going down. Now, how about with the rest of the family? You know, with Sean as an accomplished fencer as well. Like, does he have that same competitive drive? And do you like?
I think so. I think everyone in my family is pretty competitive. I'd say from my mother to my grandmother to my two baby sisters. Even now, you can see they're fighting each other neck to neck to see who's going to come on top. So yeah.
And you mentioned your defense really improving. We saw yesterday with your sister Lauren, her parry is just extremely strong. Looked that she was almost being conservative. How similarly or differently do you feel the two of you fence?
I think we're very similar. We're both left-handed, so we both kind of do the same actions, and we both converse about like what works, what doesn't work. But I think in women's fencing in particular, the focus is more on defense and less on offense. That's just my opinion. So I think I'm generally more offensive-minded, but I think my sister has an amazing tech for such a young age.
And you know, bringing it back to you and what you achieved here today, what was the part of your fencing today that made you happiest about not your result, but your performance and your takeaways?
I think my biggest, what I'm most proud of is how I was able to fight through each bout and not give up. I think when I was younger, I had problems like mentally just staying on top of things and always being ready and like not getting down when I'm down, like not getting down on myself and beating myself up. So I'm really proud of that.
And you know, how have you been able to mature in that way? You mentioned that kind of being a challenge in your fencing, not the techniques or tactics themselves, but more the psychology. How have you been able to elevate yourself in that regard?
Well, I think as an older person or as an older fencer, I think what I've really improved on is slowing everything down to myself. I feel like when we're younger, we like rush into the things. I think that's just naturally what we do as like teenagers. But now I'm a little older, I can see the game a little better and slow it down so that I'm fencing at my pace and not the other person's pace.
You talk about slowing it down, however, that was an extremely fast bout. Not fast necessarily in tempo and pace, but the score, what, 15-3?
Yeah, 15-2.
2? Went by really quickly. Wheelie up then. However, in that semi, looked like he was like spot on and looked like he had a ton of momentum, ton of emotion going into the final. How were you able to shut him down so much and win by such a huge margin?
I think that has to do with going back to like slowing everything down to my pace. And once I'm at my pace, I don't think there's anything else the other person can really do.
And do you think, Willie being a high school senior, just committed to Penn for next year, how much do you think your 1 year age difference and you being a freshman at Columbia had to play in that bout?
I think it has a lot to play. I think just physically, I'm just bigger, I think. And but other than that, I don't think there's much it has to play with it. I think we train equally the same amount, put in the same amount of effort. I know Willie's a hard worker, so
all right.
I think it's just strategy and tactics.
Well, regardless of what it was, congrats once again
Thank you.
on becoming once more a junior Olympic champion.